This girl will surely kill me. With the way she rolls these her things. In fact, I just can't stand it any longer.
Bonnie, what are you looking at with so much interest?
Nothing. How long have you been standing here?
At least long enough to notice that you're paying so much interest to something out there.
Only nothing. At least I forget. Where is Emma?
Did you see her? I just sent her on an errand to help me get the stationery out.
I didn't see her. I didn't see her. I want her to get me some battery.
Probably she has gone.
Yeah. Remember the soap opera? It's about to start.
Oh, I can't just
Let's
leave
just
that. I just can't be. Do you remember how we ended the other day?
I think she was about saying
Juliana.
Yeah.
I saw her the last series she they published.
Where's your sister? My friend, where's your sister? It's not you that I'm talking to.
She should be in the room.
Mom, someone in the house. I don't really know.
What on earth do you think you're even doing there?
Maybe the magazine, of course.
With the place you use it, it is still lying there in front of you. Will you stand up now? Clear this whole mess.
Oli, what's the matter? Oli, what's the matter?
On this one, I've been complaining about your sister. Look at her.
Okay, it's okay. Just come in. Come. Sorry. I have warned you. Why do you want to repeat one and same thing over and over again? This girl is up here and leave this place now. Alright.
I just can't fathom it. A girl as old as that, yet so unconcerned and lazy. How will she ever get a good man that will marry her in the first place?
Oh, you can't be saying that. You just can't be saying that. You know you're talking about my younger sister. You can't be saying that in her presence.
Oh, stop being sentimental here. You saw how clumsy and lazy she was out there.
Honey, you know that was just an accident. That was an accident and it would have still have happened to you, okay?
I'm sorry, she may have to leave.
Honey, you can't be saying that. It has to lead to where? I thought we have settled this issue before now. We have, haven't we?
She needs to go.
She's the only person I call my family. I mean, why do you want her to leave this house? To where? To where?
Okay.
The other day you complain that she doesn't attend to your friends well. The other time you complain she's so dirty. The other day you complain again that you can't feel 3 miles. I mean, I've told you I'll take care of that. I'll take care of the cost of her living. Have I not? I told you that.
Okay. You want the truth?
I want to hear the truth.
You want to hear it?
Yes, I
Okay,
want.
this is it.
What's it?
Honey, I am getting sexually attracted to your sister.
Honey, you must be
And
joking.
if she leaves now, the better for us.
Honey, you must be joking. I mean, you must be joking. You have not given me a valid reason for wanting her to leave this
I
house.
just told you
That's
why.
not a reason, okay? It's not valid enough. Excuse me.
Ella, come back here. You don't walk out on me like that.
Good day, viewers, and you're welcome to today's episode of Decisions. Today, we're talking about an issue titled Playing Safe. I'm your host for today, and my name is Akimbola Trace. And to discuss this episode with me today, I have with me Mr. Kester Ayekbehai, who is a CEO of an ICT organization and is also a minister at Realities Ministries in Warri, Nigeria. You're welcome, sir.
Pleased to be here.
Okay, I also have with me Mrs. Justina Kesabusa. She is a life coach and she's the founder of Joseph Place Nigeria Limited. You're welcome, ma'am.
Good day, viewers. My pleasure.
You're welcome. Now, you are a minister, you are a life coach. Now, we've seen the issue at stake. We have a young man who's claiming to be sexually attracted to his wife's younger sister, and he wants the lady out of the house. Is that a practicable step, Mr. Kester?
Yes. The first thing I'd like to say is relationships should be based on trust. When you go into a relationship, the first thing you should think of going is to establish a foundation of trust where you can be naked before your wife and not ashamed.
Okay, you are talking about marriage now, as in between Daniel and Daniella relationship, as regards marriage.
Yes.
Okay. How does the relationship with the wife's younger sister come in this place?
You know, if you find
Secondly?
that from the video we watched, he found it somehow difficult to tell the wife the truth at the initial stage.
Okay.
Probably because of what he thinks the wife will, the reaction that he will get from the wife.
So do you think it would have been better for him to have just come out straight and tell the wife from inception, this is how I'm feeling, this is what it is, and this is what I want?
Yes. Yes.
Mrs. Justina, what do you think? For a guy who just comes up, walks up to his wife and says, look, I want your younger sister out of the house. I'm having an attraction for her. I don't care where she goes, just let her be out.
That's to be done. That's to be done with wisdom. Not if we go that blunt.
Okay, he's too blunt.
Yes, if he goes that way, if he approaches it that way, it will be too blunt. He has to call the wife and make her understand.
But I believe that's what he did. He
No,
called the wife.
initially, he brought some flimsy excuses, reasons why the wife should go.
The wife's younger sister.
Why the wife's younger sister should go. He said the wife's younger sister is dirty. Right?
Isn't that a good enough reason to tell somebody to go?
No.
Mrs. Justina, what do you say to that?
The issue we're discussing is quite complicated because in the first place, you can't put anything past the human mind, but it beats my imagination why it's on very rare occasions that men, I don't know, I'm not a man, so I can't tell, should be attracted sexually to a younger sister, because in my own opinion, as a person, if I'm going out with somebody, even to the point of now getting married to the person, I consider every other person associated biologically with that person as my biological, I have that same biological emotional feeling towards that person. That is, in this case, I will be looking at that person as my younger sister.
Okay.
But be that as it may, the human being is complicated and anything can happen. Temptations can come.
Okay.
And we can be sexually attracted. Then in this case, the man is sexually attracted to the wife's sister, which is a complicated issue. Because no matter how open we are, we can be ashamed of some feelings that we have. We can be let down. I always tell people, there are some thoughts that cross your mind, your heart, and you say, did I just think that thing? Because
And it's difficult to,
yes, it's
difficult to tell it to anyone.
But just imagine that I should just think of that kind of thing. That is why we say if people can't respond to the fact that maybe there's television on top of your head and everybody's saying exactly what you are thinking. Because there are thoughts, they said you can't stop the bird from flying across your head or something, but you can stop the bird from perching. So thoughts will come, diverse kind of thoughts, you know, and I'm sure the man is, I'm sure the man is in a situation of, I've let down myself first of all by allowing myself to get into this
Such a
situation. How do I handle it? He has not handled it properly anyway, because he has cried wolf to the point that now there's a real wolf and the wife doesn't believe him anymore. He has said girl is dead, girl is lazy. He has given all kinds of excuses. And I'm sure all that he was doing was to cover up the emotional attraction that was building up in him. You know, so I think it's a difficult situation for him, but what Kester has said is the best, is to be naked before his wife. Difficult as it is, you know, from the onset, so that now it's not as if you are looking for any excuse just to
okay, but we know a human is composed or comprised of your upbringing and a lot of factors and experiences and all that. Perhaps it's that kind of person that is not easily, you know, he cannot easily express himself and all that, and so he tries to, you know, communicate in a way he expects the wife to read between the lines, but she was not able to, and then he eventually came out and he spoke his mind. But are we looking at it as if the man, Daniel, is actually the one that has a problem and he needs to really work on himself more, or does he actually need the wife to send the sister away? Is that if the wife sends the sister away as he's requesting, does that portray a solution to him?
The point is, fundamentally, he has the problem. He has the problem of uncontrolled female or opposite attraction to the opposite sex sexually. That means he has an underlying sexual problem.
Okay.
So taking the sister away doesn't take women away from his life.
Okay.
Is it not going to work?
In this case, it doesn't look as if it's
it
doesn't look as if it's something that has been
as far as
happening.
I'm concerned, I might be wrong.
Okay.
For a man to get to the point of getting that kind of attraction towards a wife's sister, that means he will be attracted to anything he's get.
Is that true?
I don't want to accept that.
Okay.
The fact is that now we live in a world where we have the flesh and we also have the devil. And human beings are different. We have people that you're attracted to and people that you're just not attracted to. It's possible that the wife's younger sister fall in the brackets, the kind of ladies that he's attracted to. So it may not be something that is a weakness on his part, it's just that circumstance presented itself that way. And the issue now is more management. How do we manage the situation? Because it's already a complicated situation, like you rightly said. How do we manage it so that it doesn't metamorphose into some other negativities?
Okay, now I would like to state something here, that I believe the man knows that the situation is not acceptable and it needs to be managed, and that's why he's coming out to his wife to tell her, look, your younger sister needs to go. So he has in his mind that there's need for a solution. But what can the wife, now the wife doesn't believe him.
I think another thing that can happen is a third party can come in, because the wife might not believe. You know, there are things that happen around you and you just don't want to believe that they are true. So if they can get a trusted, maybe pastor or somebody that he can go and confide in and say, see what's happening to me. I'm trying to put this thing across to my wife and she doesn't seem to get it. Please, can you come? You know, because if somebody else, if the wife knows that he has taken that step, she will now say, this is a serious matter, it's not as I thought it would be. It's not going to be, he needs help, so he shouldn't be ashamed to go to a confidant that he can, talk to.
Okay, as it is now, the wife is not believing because it seems like
he's just looking for an excuse.
he's just looking for an excuse.
Although, as a woman, if my husband gets to that point, I will sit up and listen. Because that is too expensive a job to grab.
Okay. We'll be taking a break right now and then we'll be back to trash this issue. Don't go away, stay with us. Okay viewers, you're welcome to the second part of this episode of Decisions, and we are talking about playing safe, the story of Daniel and Daniella, who are a couple and have Daniella's younger sister staying with them in a house. Now Daniel is having attraction for Daniella's younger sister by the name of Emmanuella. Could it have been that Daniel is having a failure, maybe a sexual failure of himself? Or could it be that Emmanuella is somehow leading him on in a way that we haven't been able to dig out yet? Mr. Kester, I would like to ask, what do you think is Emmanuella's place in all of this? Is there any way that she can help to bring the issue down? Perhaps addressing, as like we saw from the three people. Also, sometimes some people they addressing. They may see it as cause, as in they are not taking it serious, but it's doing a lot of harm. So, what is your position about a lady staying in the house and then addressing and all that?
Yes, the lady, Emmanuella, should be modest. Now, any right-thinking girl that's residing with the elder sister, especially in the house, that she knows that the sister is married, supposed to have this decorum about addressing in her mind. If she becomes too loose with addressing, we should know that she has an ulterior motive.
She has a motive.
An ulterior motive, yes.
She's not doing it innocently.
Yes, but
Can I come in there? I happen to be the first of 7 children, and my 2 younger sisters have stayed with me before. I brought them up, and all that. And it never crossed my mind or their minds, because my husband to them was like a father. Do you understand what I'm saying? And my younger sisters, I don't think we were conscious of how should they dress, we were dressing as like all of us were in a family when we were with my brothers and all of that. Because I think, people take this issue of dressing too far. I agree that some ladies can be dressing in such a way, loose in the way they dress. And I think that loose even has, I think I want to put it in quotes. Because what I consider as loose might not be what somebody else considers as loose.
Okay.
And a man that is attracted to women easily will be attracted to whether the person is dressed loose. In fact, I've heard stories of somebody who wanted to follow a lady just to see what she was covering up. The lady was Islamic and she used to wear all this thing. And the man, his main attraction to that lady was to see what was under the hijab or whatever they call that thing. So I have seen my sisters wear span, maybe shorts, and there was no issue.
So basically,
I think the man,
the man has a frame of mind.
Yes, the man has a frame of mind, and that can. I have taught before. I've been around students a lot, and all that, and I have worked with male lecturers as colleagues.
Yeah.
And they can just tell you, please, I have one colleague, he was very funny that day. He was just telling them that, please, my wife has breast. I don't want to say anybody's breast. It was not something to him that, let us look. He was seeing them like people that he had to father. Not that he was much older than them. I think it has to do with the frame of mind of the person. Yeah. It has to do with the person's frame of mind.
But in this situation,
because in your sister,
already have a situation that we're trying to manage.
The point is, did we see the girl? The girl was not indecently dressed in that thing. If you want to follow what we saw, let's.
That's a remake. It's a remake.
Okay, maybe there's a suggestion that she was indecent, and because of that indecent dressing, Because the man that wants to follow women, you don't have to be
indecent. There are some people that no matter how indecent the lady is, they are never moved.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's the ideal case. But this case now, the man is already caught in the web.
He's caught in the web.
How do we manage this?
On the scale of press friends of addressing the issue, first, I think silently we are saying that the guy needs to work on himself.
He needs to work on himself.
Then, secondly, I'm not sure if we have said.
Before working on himself, before we get there, how do we handle the situation?
This situation, it is working on himself that will solve the situation.
Okay, that's what I'm going.
Yes,
so he needs to work on himself.
Yes, he needs a counselor.
Okay.
He needs to be counseled. He needs to pray. He needs whatever he needs to do. So, because if you don't get him out of this situation,
okay,
if
Emmanuella is not the only girl.
Yes, you can't even have a housemaid. You can't even have, because it's a dangerous path he's treading. So if he doesn't work on himself, it's even better that he will disgrace himself at home than go and disgrace himself somewhere else. That means if he's working in an office and there's a young girl, there is a danger. Unless if he likes fat girls, we'll now make effort to employ only slim girls and tell them they must not grow fat. It's a dangerous path.
I really don't think the situation is that bad, because if it's been something that maybe he's been having issues generally with women, we should have been aware of that. But
maybe he doesn't have a job and this is the only woman that he's
no, he has a job. Okay. He has a job. He works. He interacts with women out there. But he comes back home to the place where he resides and he just has this attraction. But now we agree that okay, he has a frame of mind that needs some kind of adjustment.
Yes.
We have not exactly agreed whether the issue or the temptation, which is the wife's younger sister, should leave the house or not. Are we still saying that is part of the solution? She should go, or she can stay while the guy work on himself?
The only way she can stay, at least the scenario that was painted, is that she doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yes.
That's number one. So that's another. Yes, that's an issue on its own already. Then the only way she can stay is for three of them can sit down and talk about. I don't think there has
because perhaps she's not even aware of what is happening.
Of what is happening.
And maybe she can be able to make some adjustments.
And you see, when things come into the open like that, it's more difficult for you to commit a crime. When the things are in the open.
Okay.
It's
you agree with that, right?
Yes,
sure. The best way to
treat
treat something like a boil is to open it.
But some say that husband and wife issues should not be brought to the open, it should be solved in the bedroom.
And it
has not been brought to the open.
If you bring a third person in, has it not been brought to the open?
No, for counseling, that is not
for me. What I think is to leave the girl out of it for now. Like what you said, to bring in their pastor, if they are Christians,
or a counselor,
who is going to do that? Because the woman of the house does not think that there's any problem in the house.
He has the problem. He has to deal with it.
Okay, Daniel has the problem, he has
to bring the wife to a point where he make the wife understand that.
How do you do that for the woman who doesn't want to listen?
She made the mistake initially.
Okay.
By telling lies.
Okay.
Right. The reason why the woman had not believed him, why my woman didn't believe him later on, was because he had given reasons, several other reasons why this girl should go. Right? And he has to come to a point where he bring the wife. So the reality, look at the issue. I've been trying to give reasons why this girl should go, but the main reason, not the way he approached it. Okay. The way he approached it was very temperamental. That's wrong. Call the wife. She has been living with the woman. He knows the best way to communicate with her. Call her and tell her, look at the issue. I love you so much, and I don't want to mess up myself. Okay, that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. If I want to do it, I wouldn't tell you. And I wouldn't make any move to ensure that.
You know what?
And another thing.
I'm a man. I buy your.
No, another thing is that if you see in the shower, she was already meditating. She was thinking.
Yeah.
That means it was dawning on her that my husband can. This statement is quite heavy. Do you understand? So I'm sure when she comes out, just like you said, at an opportune moment, if the man comes back, unless she's mad, she will know that this thing is more than messy and she will be ready to listen.
Yeah, an ideal woman will not play with social
Yes. Because she was already thinking in the shower. You know, she couldn't just have a bath normally. She was just there under the shower. I'm sure she was thinking. So if she comes back and that moment of heat is over, and the man calls her again and says, this is the issue, we have to handle this thing. I think both of them will be.
So now we established that Daniel needs to seek for counseling, okay, and he needs to be the one to take that step. And then the wife, Daniella, needs to also make a step, right? And even though she's thinking about it, what's the step she's going to take? Is it to sit down with her husband and talk with her husband, or to sit with her sister?
Sit with her husband first. Then she and her husband will work out the modalities of not allowing two of them to be alone until the man gets the adjustment that he needs emotionally.
Okay. Now, talking about the counseling, do we think that the counseling will work while Daniella's sister is still there? Don't you think it's best to first eliminate the temptation, then allow the man to get strong on his feet? That's what I think. That means that Emmanuella will have to leave the house.
There are places Emmanuella can go for the meantime.
Okay, just go on vacation with friends or something.
They have friends. Okay. They have other relatives.
Okay.
Like that they can. Yes, like I'll tell her to or tell make an arrangement with those people that Emmanuella should come and stay with them for like 2 weeks.
Don't you think?
No, the point is,
just before
when you're trying to
break
break a habit or
yes.
change a situation,
yes,
it is easy to say, okay, let the person go to rehab and all that. But the person has to be gradually introduced back into the society. You understand what I'm saying? So it's taking her away and working on the person and bringing her mind to work. But I think that if he faces the situation square and fair, it will be dealt with once. I'm not a man, so I really don't know.
This thing you call temptation. You are seeing this thing tempting you.
If
You are still seeing it
no,
there.
the point is, if you I think we're looking at this from a Christian perspective.
Yeah.
If you call yourself a Christian, you have no power to do this thing.
Okay.
So you have to bring it before God and deal with it. My 50% of any solution is for the person to know that he has a problem.
Yeah.
If you can identify the problem, 50% of the problem is solved.
Okay.
Then from there you can take
After
Okay,
identifying the problem, we have to say, if you can remove the problem,
Okay,
remove it.
for the sake of our time, we have to cut it here. So viewers, we've been watching the discussion of playing safe, and we've been discussing with Mrs. Justina Kesabosa, who is a life coach, and she's the founder of Joseph Place Nigeria Limited. You can be able to follow her on our Facebook page, which you will see scrolling at the bottom of our screen. And also we've been talking with Mr. Kesta also, who is a minister in Reality Ministries in Warri, Nigeria, and he's also a CEO at Tech Solutions ICT. Thank you for coming to do justice to this discussion. This discussion does not end. It doesn't end here. You can follow us on our page on Facebook and watch our videos on YouTube, and we'll be hoping to hear from you. So I remain your host. My name is Akimbola Praise. Join us the same time, same station next week. Thank you.